Lots of travel troubles during the holiday season. Hundreds of thousands of Southwest flyers left stranded or forced to find another mode of transportation after the airline canceled thousands of flights last week. Del Walters takes us through that chaos.
The travel trouble started last week. Flights were canceled or severely delayed when that massive winter storm began tearing across much of the U.S.
First flight canceled, second flight was delayed, password, I missed my connection, and this flight is frozen.
Busy airports packed with unhappy customers after what Southwest called a system-wide failure.
It's been very chaotic, to say the least.
Missed connections.
It's taken us all day to get here, and we still haven't gotten to the front desk.
Canceled flights.
First they said they didn't have the pilot, then they said they didn't have somebody else, and they said, you know, we're just going to cancel it.
Air travel via Southwest grounded from coast to coast. Holiday joy and time with family, the casualty for many.
I can't get to where I'm going, so it sucks.
I've flown 500,000 miles. This is the worst experience of my travel life.
Southwest blames the operational failure on a scheduling system problem.
12, 16, 18-hour days, and day in and day out.
Without clear communication and compensation, airline and airport workers around the country say they were left to help frustrated customers any way they could. But as the airline tries to get the planes back in the sky, the nightmare isn't over. Hundreds of thousands of flyers have been left without their baggage. Then there is the help from their fellow flyers that is serving as a silver lining in a stressful situation.
I started texting people as stuff came off the plane, and I was actually able to meet a man and woman that were able to claim 7 pieces of luggage, like, for their family.
And a reminder to always look for the helpers. I'm Del Walters.
Wow. Well, as Southwest gets wheels up, the sour taste of the past week still lingers for so many. Brian Brown, a Southwest Union president, is joining us now. And Brian, the airline is essentially back to normal operations, but did they do enough to assist customers that were stranded all over the country?
Unfortunately, I believe we were a little late to the party. For our operation to melt down in the way that it did and take us 8 days to essentially to recover is unacceptable.
Well, let's talk about some of the major changes now that need to be made to avoid similar situations in the future. Obviously, something has to give. So where does the airline need to start?
We can begin by investing in our people. There's a human factor that comes with meltdowns like this. Working out in subarctic temperatures for our ground crews, our crews that fly the airplanes, and our flight attendants get stranded in cities along with the passengers. I myself was a victim of the services disruptions. Coming home from my holiday travels, I had to purchase a ticket on another carrier. It begins with good planning for events like this. We need to be better prepared for events and keep in mind all possible aspects that come along with these events. And we also need substantial investment in our infrastructure. Our IT is amalgamation of mixed technologies, some being as old as the 1980s or 90s.
You know, you mentioned you were a stuck passenger, but all the people working at the airport for Southwest, the ticket gate agents, and the baggage handlers, and everybody. I mean, they were taking the brunt of this. They're the front face of Southwest. The flight attendants, the pilots. How are they doing? I mean, they probably were it got a lot of people's anger, but it really wasn't their fault.
My heart goes out to them. I have been myself an agent on the ramp, on working out in the elements. I have been an agent on the ticket counter and working face-to-face with the customers. In the eyes of the traveling public, we are the airline. We are the ones being held accountable on the front lines when these decisions are made to cancel flights, and the handling of that is handled well above our position.
Well, we appreciate you and everybody there. We know that you guys are doing your jobs, as best you can, and we know that there was a lot of problems from the top down. So thank you, Brian Brown, for joining us, and we hope that you have a happy new year, and next year brings a lot more good news for you and the airlines. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.